Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. Counting the boats and the dodo, there are 55 vehicles that you can control in this game. In this video and in upcoming videos, we're going to explore all of them. I'm going to show you every single fixed spawn location of every single vehicle in the game. At the first location, I'll walk all the way around the vehicle so you can get a good view of all four sides. I'm going to drive one copy of each vehicle to the wooden pier unique jump near the airport, and we'll have a little contest to scientifically determine which are the best and worst vehicles in the game. For each vehicle, I'll share some facts from the wiki. I'm going to go through the vehicles alphabetically, so we'll start with the ambulance's fixed spawn in Portland, and then we'll jump to all of the other ambulance fixed spawns. At each jump in the video, I tried to include a view of some landmark from the game, so you'll be able to tell where we are on the map. Let's jump in with the ambulance. So as we take a look at the ambulance, you might want to pause the video when I give you a view of the side of the ambulance and focus on the asterisk looking thing on either side. According to the wiki, this is a slightly altered star of life. And take a look in the middle of the red asterisk looking thing coming right here. It is a sperm. Yeah, so the Star of Life is featured on just about every ambulance here in the US, and it is supposed to have in the middle of that asterisk looking thing a rod with a snake going around it, which is apparently the rod used by the Greek god Asclepius, who is associated with healing and medicine. But of course, Rockstar has changed that rod to a sperm. Okay, so coming back to the wiki here, as we look around at all the different fixed spawns, there's four of them, kind of. The first one that we just got to here in Staunton is sometimes there, and it's sometimes a different fixed vehicle. I think it's an Esperanto. We'll get to it later on. But which of those two vehicles, the ambulance or the Esperanto, shows up depends on the angle that you approach that Staunton hospital from. So there's three fixed spawns, but sometimes four fixed spawns of the ambulance. Okay, reading from the wiki, the ambulance is an emergency vehicle that has appeared in almost every GTA 3 title. It's manufactured by Brute in the HD universe. And I'll read just a tiny bit from the wiki as we try this unique jump coming up here on the left. Ambulances are based on various generations of the Ford E-Series chassis, mainly the third and fourth generations. The rear compartment's design remains the same on all models, but the cabin and details are different. In GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories, the cabin assumes a design similar to the Pony, but with smaller headlights and a thinner appearance. Okay, so we did this first jump. We got credit for the jump, but we did not land on our wheels. And so I'm going to give this no credit for my little scientific experiment here. So the ambulance cannot be paint sprayed. It can be taken to the crusher, and it only did the one jump there, but not really. Moving on to the Banshee, it has four fixed spawns. It can be paint sprayed. It can be crushed. And now we'll read from the wiki. This is from an advertisement in the San Andreas game about the Banshee. The name says it all. You can weave in and out of traffic with ease in this little number. Get a blow-up doll for the passenger seat and ride in the HOV lane. Apex predators beware. Okay, jumping to the design, the Banshee resembles a first-generation Dodge Viper RT/10 with its dual exhaust and curvilinear design. It differs from its real-life counterpart in its narrower width and headlight design. The Banshee also borrows minor elements from other 90s American coupes, such as the hood scoops from the 1993 to 1997 Pontiac Firebird and headlights resembling those of 1994 to 1996 Dodge Stealth. So there you go. That's some info about the Banshee. Okay, being a sports coupe laid out in an FR layout connected to a 5-speed transmission, the Banshee in the GTA 3 era is one of the fastest sports cars, but requires a tactile driving style to perform well. Fishtailing and spinouts are common if moderation is not used with the throttle. Yes, I can confirm that. Thank you, Wiki. Okay, heading down to special variants in the wiki, a unique gray color Banshee appears in the introduction. That's the cutscene in the very beginning of this game, featured in the very first video in the series. It is driven and owned by Miguel, the second in command for the Colombians right underneath Catalina. That gray color Banshee is unobtainable, according to the wiki. The Banshee is one of 16 vehicles wanted for the Shoreside Vale portion of the import-export side mission. I should have mentioned the ambulance is also one of the import-export vehicles that's required over at the crane. Okay, and the Banshee has already beaten the ambulance in our scientific experiment here because I can drive away from that first jump. So that's pretty cool. Um, Moving on to trivia here from the wiki. The Banshee, that word, is a female spirit in Irish mythology, usually seen as an omen of death and a messenger from the underworld. It is one of the 7 vehicles in the GTA series named after mythical creatures, the other 6 being the Hydra, I don't know how to say it, Daemon, Daemon, the Phoenix, the Leviathan, the Kraken, the Chimera, and the Valkyrie. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so one of 7 of these kinds of names in across the GTA games. All right, coming back to, all right, so we nailed the second jump, and let me just say that this is my scientific plan here, is to do loops between the wooden pier jump and then this jump that we just did coming back over the river up that kind of grass ramp. And whichever vehicle can drive away from the most of these jumps is the winner in our experiment. So far, the Banshee has landed 2, and we got to see if we land back on our wheels here. And can I drive this thing away? That's the question. Yes, I can. That is a score of 3, setting a very high standard here at the early stages of our alphabet. Let's see if we can get number 4 coming up on the grass ramp again. At some point, every one of these vehicles is going to fail, and the Banshee's time is up. The Colombian is here to save me. Thank you, my buddy. Appreciate being taken out of the car that was on fire. Okay, moving on to the Barracks OL. There is exactly one of these in the game. It's right here at Phil's Army Surplus in North Staunton. I'm just walking around to give you a look. You cannot pay and spray the Barracks OL, but you can take it to the crusher. All right, from the wiki. This is again a description from some sales advertisement. Hope you've got a big garage, a 6-wheel Army personnel truck with reinforced frame and suspension. The Barracks is ideal for transporting armed troops and carpooling obese American kids. Built in the US in the 1980s, sold to Iraq in the 1990s, captured from the Iraqis by Americans in the 2000s, the Barracks has a complex bloodline that took us days to get off the seats. All right. The Barracks, formerly known as Barracks OL, is a military truck featured in both 3D Universe and HD Universe. It's manufactured by HVY, I guess that's the name of the company, in GTA 5 and GTA Online. All right, so the Barracks is evidently based on the M939 5-ton truck, namely the M923A1 cargo version, albeit featuring an extra set of lights beside the grille. The Barracks OL is depicted as a 6-wheeled truck intended for transportation of cargo/infantry, featuring a utility cab with room for 2 occupants. In GTA 3, the vehicle is visually identical to the GTA 3 rendition of the flatbed, only differing in its modified bed design with additional fencing. It retains the mesh grille design, which in turn is similar to the one on the bus, albeit slightly smaller. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's move on to the prominent appearances and missions. This Barracks OL is required over at the Import-Export Crane in South Portland. And then I don't see any trivia specific to GTA 3. There's lots of trivia about the other GTA games on the wiki page. I'll post a link to the vehicles, the general vehicles wiki page that I showed at the beginning of this video. It'll be in the description. Okay, Barracks OL choked under the pressure, couldn't even take off from that pier. That is poor, poor indeed. Okay, and now we're going to take a look at the BF injection. So remember, this vehicle is only available after you complete a certain mission. I think it's Sayonara Salvatore. And it's only available here in this one location. I think it starts at like 6 p.m. and it's available until midnight, and that's it. No other places. It doesn't have any random spawns on the street, and this is the only fixed spawn location. It can be pay and sprayed. It can be crushed. Okay, let's take a look at the wiki for the injection, or the BF injection. Again, from an advertisement in San Andreas. Super reinforced shocks, perfect for cushioning when you are jumping sand dunes and landing with such ferocity that you bite your tongue in two. The injection is a dune buggy and off-road coupe that appears in the 3D Universe and GTA 5 and GTA Online. Following the release of GTA 5, the BF name is labeled as a manufacturer. All right, so the design. The vehicle resembles a slightly enlarged Myers-Manx, that's M-A-N-X, a kit car made from a Volkswagen Beetle. It was designed by Bruce F. Myers, that's where the BF comes from, this is the real life person, and was at one point manufactured by his company, B.F. Myers and Co. The vehicle retained the generally exaggerated design with a rounded body, open cabin, exposed rear engine, and large wheels. All right, let's see here. The performance is generally above average. I don't think so. I had all kinds of difficulty controlling this thing. It would flip at a moment's notice. Handling is adequate. I don't think so, Wiki. All right, moving on to the prominent appearances and missions. In Drive Misty for me, in the ending cutscene, a BF injection is seen inside Joey's garage along with a sentinel and a mafia sentinel, an Idaho, and a stallion. Joey's blue BF injection appears in the opening cutscenes of all 6 missions that he's the boss. And the BF injection is required, is in the import-export garage on Shoreside Vale. How's it going to do here on our important contest? It's rolling, it's flipping. Can we get it back? Yes, we can. That's one successful jump. Nice job, BF injection. All right, notable owners, Joey, obviously, and then Misty possibly is what the wiki says, because we found this fixed spawn BF injection right outside of Misty's apartment there in Hepburn Heights. All right, coming down to the trivia. The BF injection's name, we think, referred to, that guy, Bruce F. Meyer. But the wiki says alternatively, all right, we got our second jump. Can we nail this one? Yes, we can. That's 2. Alternatively, the BF injection's name may also be a play on beef injection, a slang term for sexual intercourse. I did not know that, and I did not need to know that. But thank you, wiki. Coming back to the design, the GTA 3 rendition does not have headlamps despite emitting light beams from its front fenders, but later games rectified the issue with the addition of 2 circular headlamps as well as high beam lamps mounted on the roll bars. While renditions in Liberty City have a small intake on the engine, the ones in Vice City can have either the same intake or small carburetors as extras. They can be seen with a wide array of primary body colors with a secondary color on the lower trims, generally painted in gray or silver. All right, can we do this one? Oh, this is not looking good. Hey, success. That is a score of 3 for the BF injection, currently tied for the lead with the Banshee. I complained about the BF injection earlier, and it's surprising me. I can't believe how well it's doing. This is crazy. This is a junky car, but it's right now tied for the lead. Can it take the overall lead, being the only vehicle landing 4? Let's see. Place your bets. Put your thoughts in the comments. What's it going to be, BF injection? And rolling, and it's lost, and no, it is saved. That is a score of 4. That's going to be tough to beat. 4 for the BF injection. This is a surprise. Holy cow. Like I said, every vehicle is eventually either going to catch on fire, like the BF injection just did, or it's going to land in the water, and in that way, we honor said vehicle. Okay, so a score of 4, quite impressive. Moving right along, the BLista is a minivan featured in GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories and a 3-door hatchback in GTA 5 and GTA Online. It is manufactured by Dinka in the HD universe. The BLista resembles a 3rd-generation Dodge Caravan in appearance, with the headlights and grille resembling a Chrysler Voyager 4th generation, and it's depicted as a modern minivan in contrast to the older Moonbeam. Despite the BLista's minivan design, it can only accommodate 3 passengers and 1 driver, the same as any 4-door vehicle. Its name, rather unpleasantly, sounds like a portmanteau of the words blister and possibly Honda, probably referring to the 1st-generation Honda Odyssey, even though it has a closer resemblance to the Dodge Caravan. The BLista spawns with a primary color on the upper side and a secondary color on the lower side, rear view mirrors, and window trim. Okay, so I intend to get into every single one of these vehicles. I wasn't paying attention to the video there a moment ago, but if any of them is ever locked, then I just reload my save and then I keep reloading until the thing is unlocked. But I won't show that. I won't show any of the locked versions, just the successful me getting in version for completeness. During development of GTA 3, the BLista was originally known as the Space. That was the name of it. The performance, considerably faster and more agile than its size and appearance would suggest. It's driven by its engine and a front-wheel drive layout. All right. Moving on to the notable owners. Nobody in this game. Kyle Chavis. Don't know who that is. It is required in the Portland Import-Export Garage. And let's see how it does here on its first attempt at a unique jump. There are six spawns of the BLista, six fixed spawns of the BLista altogether, and obviously it can be pay and sprayed, and it can be crushed. A vehicle. Let's see. Can we save it, BLista? Can we save it? No, we can't, and we're drowning. Oh, that's a negative score. It's not even a 0 for the BLista. Terrible. Okay, Bobcat next. There are 7 fixed spawns, kind of. Depends on, again, the angle in which you approach one of the fixed spawns. Okay, so it can be pay and sprayed, it can be crushed. And reading from the wiki, the Bobcat is a continually recurring range of two-door pickup trucks first introduced in GTA 3 and featured in nearly every game since then. The only exceptions being Advance and 5 and GTA Online. It is manufactured by Vapid. All right, this spawn location right here, it's going to be a different vehicle later on, or in another vehicles video that I make later. So depending on the angle you come at towards that Amco gas station, it's either a Bobcat or I forget what the other option is. So that's why I said there's kind of 7, but it might be 6 depending on the angle. Oh, this Bobcat has a great view of the lighthouse. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, coming back to the wiki, the Bobcat is designed generally the same throughout the 3D universe. The Bobcat in GTA 3, the Bobcat resembles a 1993 to 1997 Ford Ranger with influences from the 1998 to 2000 Toyota Tacoma. Its design is generally rounded and has large bumpers, a small grille, a bulged hood, wide arches, and a tailgate with a silver detail. The GTA 3 rendition has a 3D modeling glitch where the passenger side headlight is rounded, but the other one is longer and rectangular. Huh, who knew? This was rectified in Liberty City Stories, where both lights are rounded. All right, good to know. Okay, pre-GTA 4 Bobcats have a V6 engine, the only exception being in San Andreas and Vice City, where it's a 4-cylinder. The Bobcat is fairly slow, but has high torque and strong, stiff suspension. Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the special variants. In GTA 3, the player can acquire a bulletproof, fireproof, and explosion-proof Bobcat from Evidence Stash, which we did. That took a long time. Okay, so here we are headed towards the pier. I always pick the spawn that was closest to the pier in terms of deciding which one to bring. All right, prominent appearances in missions. The Bobcat is acquired at the Import-Export Garage over in Portland. Easy enough. Notable owners. I don't see anybody here from GTA 3, but in lots of other games there are some notable owners. And then finally the trivia. The Bobcat has some default radio stations in some of the other games. In real life, the Bobcat is an American mammal in the cat family. There was a real vehicle produced by Mercury, the real-life company, called the Bobcat. And the name Bobcat may also be a reference to a Bobcat EMEA, an excavator manufacturer. Yeah, I think I've seen that before, like the word Bobcat as a description for some of those construction site vehicles with, like diggers and buckets and things like that. Okay, so how does the Bobcat do in our scientifically proven experiment to determine superiority? That's 1 landed jump. Excellent. I wasn't sure we were going to make that one. And then, so I find the wooden pier jump to be quite inconsistent in terms of landing it. Not just here as I was doing my silly recording footage for this game I made up, but in my speedrunning, it's quite inconsistent for me to land on my wheels on that pier jump. I'm better on this one, but here the Bobcat didn't quite make it. Didn't even get the slow motion. So we're going to give that credit for 1, but not 2. Okay, next up, the final car in this video is the Borgnine. So it has only 1 fixed spawn location and doesn't appear anywhere on the streets. Take a look at the pointy spear-looking things on the front and rear bumpers covered in blood. That's the good stuff. So this appearance here in North Portland only comes after you've completed 100 taxi drop-offs in the game. So reading from the wiki, I'll remind you of the message that we got on our pager. in the top left corner when we did our 100th taxi fair in the series. Bigger, faster, harder, new Borg9 taxis open for business in Harwood. Call 555 Borg9 today. All right, the Borg9 is a bonus taxi available in GTA 3 and GTA Advance. The Borg9 is a modified cabbie with bloody spikes on the front and rear bumpers. It spawns in a dark red primary color for the body and a gray secondary color for the bumpers. So you can paint spray it, but the colors never change. This is it. And obviously you can take it to the crusher as well. And let's take a look at the performance. The Borg9's handling and acceleration are far superior to the cabbie model it is based on. Yeah, I agree with that, and it would be lovely to actually be able to use it and be productive in this game. But like I complained about when we got it the first time in this series, you're given the the Borg9 after you have finished Taxi. There's no reason to ever use it. While it may appear to be heavy, its wheel drive layout and increased top speed help it navigate traffic with ease while also being able to survive multiple collisions. Therefore, the Borg 9 is much better suited for avoiding wanted levels than similar vehicles of its type, such as the Cabbie and Taxi. All right, fair enough, but I'm still whining about the fact that we don't get it until it's not useful to us. All right, I mentioned this in a previous video, but I'll say it again here. The Borgnine's name is an homage to the actor Ernest Borgnine, who starred in the 1981 movie Escape from New York as a cab driver named, quote, Cabby in a prison-converted New York. Like the cabbie, the passengers will pass through the Borgnine's rear fender when getting in, and the bloody spikes are probably a reference to the 1997's game Carmageddon. Okay, the Borgnine failed its first jump. It has a score of 0, so sad. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.